So all the icons coming in next week's promo of Foot Centurion have been leaked, but as a result, what's going to happen to the market? Is it going to go up or going to be going down? On top of that, we're going to be covering all the content that's come out in the last 24 hours with loads of investments. But before we do start, if you guys are interested, I do offer a daily subscriber trading guide over on my Twitch, which you can get for free of Amazon Prime. All you got to do is click on the top link of the description and subscribe over on Twitch. It is free of Amazon Prime. If not, it is £5, €5, or $6. In there, you do get yourself daily updated investments, daily updated silver trading data, daily updated shadow trading data. Here's some recent success we've had on the guide. We recommended Duran, just on the 2nd of November, which was 3 days ago. Well, Duran since has gone up to, if I go and find him, recommend on the 1st of November for 19.5, and since he has gone up to 36. Again, every single video we've got a brand new investment to show you guys that did well, so if you guys are interested, it is over there. So let's go and talk about the content that's come in the last 24 hours. EA's not really dropped much when it comes to content in the last 24 hours. We got the Putellas, which again was highly anticipated. There was never really any investment. The only investment in Putellas was buying Putella's gold card. That's because we knew that this card will inevitably be very, very expensive. We haven't had any expensive or base gold card POTMs that have had cheap, or expensive gold cards that have had cheap POTMs. There we go. So we knew it should be expensive, I'll be honest with you. I had it down as 1.2 to 1.5 million, and we were not wrong. Well, the most obvious investment here was to go and buy her gold card. Her gold card, which could have gone bought for 300k, went all the way up to, actually went all the way up to about 360. I said that it'd be a pump and dump. I said, yeah, she'll be more than she is before the SBC, but she's going to get pumped and she's going to get dumped. And that's exactly what happened. She went from 300 all the way up to 360, but is back down now to 330, 340. So, yeah, quite an expected trend there. Decent money if you went and bought her at 300, but not a surprise. What happened to fodder? Well, by no surprise, fodder is down because, well, the only player SBC we got yesterday was Putellas. Very weird. There's lots of content leaked, but nothing quite yet released. So we've got 83s that are down from 3.3 down to 3k. We have 85s that are down from 7.1 down to 6.6. We got 86s that are down from 11.3 down to 10.5, and we got 87s that are down from 15.5 to 15. On top of that, super high rated didn't do well. We've got De Bruyne, who's down from 35 to 33, and we got Rodri down from 44 down to 42. So we can see across the board, no real rises on fodder. On top of that, didn't really do anything for Team of the Weeks. They were 65k. They're now currently 65k. Written hourly yesterday was, well, up to 39k down to 39k. So there wasn't really any movement, but yeah, it's not really a surprise. That's exactly what we could have expected. What we didn't expect though was that to really be the only SBC yesterday. It was very surprising when we got to 6 PM yesterday and the only SBC we got was the 81 common upgrade pack. But yeah, quite underwhelming. What did that allow to do? Well, the meta market continued rising. Anything that's been rising in the last 24 hours basically continued to go and rise yesterday. We can see Bastoni, proceeding to rise up there. Basically, this card has been relatively progressive since that drop right there. And again, I'm sure I can go and give you other cards. It's going to grab you something like an Informed Vert. I'm very sure it's up. We can go and look at what he was going for yesterday. So he was up there to about 187, and he's continued to rising. Why? He's not being replaced by anything. If people aren't getting replaced by SBCs, they're not going to be going down in price. So we didn't get any Evos, we didn't get any interesting objectives, so let's go and talk a little bit about the leaks. Now I will actually say there is a few SBCs that have been leaked in the last 24 hours. A lot of them are coming in from Mr. Footdonk. The SBCs aren't really anything to react to. We got Darmian versus Politano as a showdown. These are not official cards, I'll be honest with you. I think they're definitely overestimated. I don't think they release showdown cards anywhere near that good, especially if Darmian does have that centre back position utility. No investments there. Again, showdowns very rarely. The only time showdowns are actually ever demanded is if they're in a minor league, because normally they get bigger upgrades in minor leagues, but these in the top 5 leagues never really receive any upgrade that does that well. Other than that, we went and got ourselves a Andy Robertson. Now this is going to drop the likes of Robinson and other potentially popular left backs. The only thing is he probably won't be the fastest card in the world. I mean, if we go and look at what they did to Garassi, can I go and find Garassi? I can never spell this guy's name. There you go. If we go and see what they did to Garassi, he didn't really he wasn't really given that much of a usable card. It was given plus 10 pace, which is nice, but he wasn't given the most usable card as a flashback. Same thing can happen with Robertson. Again, his base card is, highly undesirable, I guess, when it comes to only being left backs. So they've got to go and give him a significant, at least pace boost for him to be demanded. But again, even still, I don't think this card would be the most demanded. Yeah, it's got the Van Dijk links. Yeah, it's got the Ivo Konate links. You know, there are lots of other decent Liverpool players, but yeah, I don't think it's, you know, they have to give him a really big boost for him to be that good, or have to make him extremely good value for money. Regarding do you buy link investments, you don't really buy link investments to players in the Prem. The reason you don't buy link investments to players in the Prem, EA gives so many Premier League special cards that there's so many different players you could go and link up with Robertson. When they go into like the Eredivisie, even the Serie A, we don't really see that many special cards in the Serie A promo team. I think actually I could just probably go and show you this current promo team as an example. In the current promo team, how many Serie A cards do we have? We have 1, 2, a rarity, 3 actually. It's not going to fit my agenda now. I was going to use Trailblazer Team 1. How many Serie A cards do they have in Trailblazer Team 1? I think, what do we have? We've got 1, 2, 3. I mean, I guess it's not really fitting my agenda as much. The idea is that we normally get way more Prem players. How many Prem players? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, slightly fitting the agenda. But the idea is that because there's so little, so many Premier League special cards, it means that the link investments don't work. Like, if we go and look at Robertson, Robertson has so many good strong links, and then on top of that, there's a higher chance that people are going to have more weak links in their teams nonetheless. Like, if we go and look at Robertson, his strong links are Van Dijk, Salah, Alisson, obviously all the Premier League heroes and icons, which again, we normally have way excess more Prem heroes and icons than other leagues. We then have got ourselves Total Rush Arnold. We then even got SBC cards. We've got Diaz. We then move down here and we've got ourselves an informed Diaz. We then move here and we've got ourselves Diaz and Chiesa themselves. Informed Slobsai. Obviously you've got Ivo Konate, Ivo Joe Gomez, which are extremely mainstream. We've got Ivo Curtis Jones we've had recently, that's very mainstream. Ivo Gravenberch was extremely mainstream. So you can kind of get the gist that if with something like a Liverpool player, they're just nowhere near as good for link investments than more minor leagues. Now, the more interesting thing that's been leaked is the whole team for Foot Centurions icons has been announced, and yeah, it's quite an interesting team. You know, we've got ourselves centre mids, we've got ourselves strikers, we've got ourselves wide players, we've got goalkeepers. Van der Sar will be an extremely good investment out of packs as long as we don't get a goalkeeper next week or a goalkeeper SBC. But yeah, we've got ourselves fullbacks. I think the one thing we don't have left backs. We don't have out and out, I think, right wings, if I'm not wrong, with him only being that, and Nedved. And CDMs, I mean, we've got, Veron and Foundry. So I think right wings, left backs, and goalkeepers is the thing that's lacking, especially cheap goalkeepers, left backs, and so on and so on. But yeah, they've got an array of players. It's nothing too insane, but what I would say is previously I was expecting there to be like major versions and minor versions of these icons. For example, you can see right here we had a 88 Larson and an 87 Larson. We had an 87 Veron and an 89 Veron. I was expecting that, but now that there's been 12 players leaked, and last time there was only, well, what? Zidane was an SBC. Was it this Zidane an SBC, or do we have a lower one? Bear in mind, yeah, I guess that Zidane's an SBC. There were 15 players in total, so there was only 3 difference between this year's and last year's. And last year they went and had how many dupe players? We have 1, 2, 3, 4. Is it 5? 6, like 6 of them were duplicate players, as in they had a baby and a major one. So I don't think we're going to see baby ones and major ones in this promo. Now that's really good, because when they do have a big one and a small one, what ends up happening is that small one is literally cheaper than, you know, the base icon himself. Like Veron, this one was 70k, this one was 20k, and these sort of cards can go and crash, especially the lower end icon market. So looking pretty decent. How do icons go and react? Well, this is Hadji. The promo started there. Week 2 of the promo was, where are we looking? Week 2 of the promo started here. So we can see a massive drop on the likes of icons. Not just 2 cams, we can also see this happen with centre backs last year. If I can go and grab Sol Campbell, that's where the promo started. And by the end of the promo, we were here. So again, you know, almost halved in price. So I'm going to be very, very cautious of trading with icons. This is because they can get replaced by SBCs. Obviously, the Evos we got during Centurion last time was really, really good, but they can get replaced by SBCs, and we can just have cheap promo icons. Promo icons are way easier to go and pack than base icons. This is because icons aren't in a lot of packs, and because they're not in a lot of packs, especially like SBC wise. Normally they're kept quite rare, but the promo ones are, you know, either they have much higher pack weight or they are enabled to be packed in other promos. So I'd be very careful with your icons. I don't really think there'll be much of a buy time in the next 2 weeks. Maybe Sunday evening to rebound Wednesday, but then you've got to be very careful of SBCs and them being replaced by cards. This is the Centurion team we got last year. I do think it's going to be very different this year to last year, because you can see in last year's one we only had 6 icons, whereas this year's one we've got 12 icons. Along with the icons, we are also expecting to go and get some base cards, maybe get another 12 base cards to go and give us a promo team of 24, which is very normal to get around about that. I mean, you can see right here we've got, what, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So it's normal to go and have big promo teams of getting 20 to 24 players. How many did we get in Trailblazers? 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Well, then, maybe 18 is the number. What do we expect to happen with fodder? Now, I did a little bit of a research, and I mean, if we can go and grab the SBCs that we went and got last year. Do I have the SBCs that we went and got last year? Do I not? I think I did go and research it. I think I've gone and lost it here. But yeah, so last year we went and got ourselves loads and loads of SBCs. Although I did a bit of research on the fodder, and it was very interesting, because despite there being multiple icon SBCs, you know, multiple player SBCs, fodder didn't actually rise. Like, it was really, really weird. Now, it might have been because fodder was so expensive for the 2 weeks prior, because if you remember, we had we had POTN and Son, we had POTN, Rafael Leao, we had ourselves a Trailblazer Rodrigo, and all those SBCs made fodder really expensive through Trailblazers. But actually, as soon as Centurion started, we saw the likes of like 89s dropping, we saw the likes of 90s dropping. Now, I'd say there's a very high chance we actually see different trends this year, and I'd say the reason for that is fodder isn't high going into this promo. Because fodder isn't high going into this promo, it means there's more room for it to rise. Last year, fodder was very high going into the promo, meaning it had room to drop. Well, last year, again, we did have some very well-demanded SBCs, such as Pirlo. I don't think Marshall was obviously too demanded. We went and had ourselves a showdown. What else did we get? We obviously got the Vidic, who was very, very popular. We had Barella. I'm not quite sure where Barella is. We had a French goalkeeper. We had Ollie Watkins. But I'll tell you what, the player SBCs weren't too demanded. It was more the icon ones on the base players. There you go. Barella was semi-well demanded. I remember that card. Treco, not that demanded. And is that all she wrote? Then we had loads and loads of upgrade packs in comparison to previous promos. We had the Thiago Silva, he was very well demanded. So, potentially that's why fodder didn't do that well last year, because we literally just had 3 big SBCs, but apart from those 3 big SBCs, there wasn't too much. I definitely want to gamble fodder, and there's 2 sort of trends we've got with investing in fodder. The first trend is buying Team of the Weeks. Now, this is a predicted Team of the Week for next week. Now, what you can see is just a little bit even like this week, there is a lack of high-rated players. We've got an 86 Danny Olm, we've got ourselves an 86 Coman, and we've got ourselves an 86 Una Batalla. But other than that, you know, all we're getting is kind of 86 Gokrez as well. But other than that, all we've got is kind of like 84s in there. Well, as a result, what that means is 87 to probably 88 rated, well, 87 to 89 rated Team Weeks next week should do pretty well. And the reason they should do pretty well is because there's no supply of high rated Team Weeks coming next week, which means the only supply of high rated Team Weeks is coming from previous weeks. And the interesting thing is I was actually doing the base hero SBC yesterday, and the cheapest solution for an 86 rated team with a Team of the Week was, it's probably different now, was actually using Team of the Week written. Yeah, it's changed a little bit now, but what you can see is these 89 rated Team of the Weeks, even in 86 rated squads, are efficient, you know, they're not completely outpriced of being good value for money SBC fodder. So I do recommend picking up these 87s all the way up to 89 rated Team of the Weeks that are fodder. So for your 87s, that's Rod, Horan, Shaw, those 3. Then for your 88s, it's Peugeot and Prop. Then for your 89s, it's written and slowly becoming Lewandowski. Now, if you really want to go a bit more overkill, you do have the likes of Harry Kane, but obviously with him being 91 rated, he has much lower versatility, and because he's got much lower versatility, there's a lower chance of him being needed. But obviously if there's some exceptionally high rated team, which we're not really seeing, obviously we got Una Battaglia yesterday, and she was, you know, she was coming in at 1.6 million, and still the highest rated team was an 88. So, yeah, there isn't the most demand for these 91 rated informs. Did a little bit of research again how the Team of the Weeks did. It was quite interesting. They didn't really do that well for the promo. So again, I can show you. This is last year. The promo started here. Week 2 of the promo was... was that week 2 of the promo? Week 2 of the promo was here. It ended off here, which was... I mean, it's pretty decent. Within the 2 weeks, I mean... what are you making in 2 weeks? In 2 weeks, she was up around about 7.5k. Not amazing. You would have got multiple flips. It was actually the promo after in which Fodder did very well. We can see that happened with Rapone. Again, we can see that they didn't do the most with that one, but then they picked up another 12k in the week after. So I do think Fodder can do very well this week, even though it didn't do that well last year, because I do think informed Fodder is in a much rarer state. I think we can also gamble on there being more demanded SBCs. I mean, look at this Milinkovic-Savic again. This was this right here to here was the 2 weeks of the promo, which again, he literally only went up a few K. But then after that, he then went and did 12k in under a week, which is interesting. Same with Lukaku. So the fodder that I recommend buying, and that's Informed. So Informed, you recommend buying 87s to 91s. You can buy them right now. Gold fodder is a bit of an interesting one. Obviously, gold fodder hasn't been that expensive this week because we haven't really had any SBCs overly demanded. So the fodder I recommend buying is 84s, 5s, 6s. And if you really want to go high rated, because this is probably dubbed high rated this year, 88s. Now, there's two buy times on fodder. One, you're going to go and gamble that Friday, we're going to go and get ourselves a well-demanded Icon SBC or well-demanded Player SBC, but more so Icon SBC. If we get a well-demanded Icon SBC, your fodder is going to be cheapest about half an hour to 45 minutes after Division Rivals. Or if you're happy to gamble that we won't get a well-demanded Player SBC on the Friday, because in previous years, I think the Friday Player SBC was like Odegaard, who wasn't very well demanded. Well, then what you can do is buy your fodder around about 10 PM on the Friday through to early hours on the Saturday. So about 7, 8 AM in the morning on Saturday. So there are your two gambles. You either gamble, you get a well-demanded Icon SBC to kick off the promo. A little bit like when we got that Rafinha, which didn't allow fodder to drop. You'd go and buy it Thursday morning with Div Rivals. If not, you go and gamble Friday evening. And that is your fodder investment there. Last thing that's been leaked is another promo has been linked called Track Stars, which is interesting. It's a new promo. We've never had a promo called this. Card design, we haven't had a card design too much like this. Interesting. Obviously, it's a base card design and a hero card design. So obviously the current promo, base and icon. Next one, base and heroes. Now, there's no guarantee this will be the next one because normally they do give about 1 or 2 promos in between an icon promo and then the next hero and icon promo. So it'd be interesting if anything is going to get leaked between now and the 2 weeks of Centurion. But that about wrap that up. Meta Market is favourite to go and rise till the Thursday evening. I do think it can have some pretty heavy crashes from Friday through to Sunday. And then obviously subjective if players go and get replaced. But that is going to go and wrap that up. Thank you very much for watching. And we'll see you guys tomorrow with a brand new video.